Hey, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to my weekly Creatress chat. This is the second week we're doing this, and I'm excited for this week's conversation. So this week we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about what it really means to diversify your content. We're going to talk a little bit more about my coaching program, and then I have a special announcement. You might see something up here in this corner right here that has something to do with the announcement. I'm excited to share that with you guys, and I don't know, I'm anxious because I've been working on it and I'm excited and I can't wait. But that's going to come after we talk about content, because that's what I'm here to talk about. So I help people diversify content. That's what the coaching program is all about. And I wanted to hop on and really talk about what that meant, what that means. So a lot of times if people have like a podcast or a YouTube show or a blog, they want to take that content and they want to repurpose it in different avenues so that they can reach more people, which is great. But a lot of times I know content creators, they do things like, say they have a podcast and then just transcribe that podcast and upload it as a blog. Or if they do a YouTube video, they just take the audio from the YouTube video and put it on a podcast hosting platform, and that's their podcast. Which is fine. Sometimes that works really well, depending on the content that you're creating. Sometimes that works really well. But sometimes, because the content doesn't translate too well, it does more damage than good. And I'll explain a little bit why. Each avenue works differently. Podcasting works a little bit differently than YouTubing, and it works a little bit differently than blogging. So when we talk about diversifying our content, we want to take the same message, but we want to create it in a way that each platform can consume it in a way that's easy and accessible for that platform. For example, if you're doing a video show and you do a lot of visual aids and you're like, if you see here, blah, 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 if you see here, blah, 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 and then you take that audio and put it for a podcast, then the people who are listening to that podcast have no idea what you're talking about when you say, if you see here, if you see here. So you want to take your message and you want to cater it to each specific type of platform. So diversifying content is not necessarily about changing up your message. It's just changing up your method. Did y'all catch that? Because I just came up with that off the top of my head. It's not about changing up your message. It's about changing up your method. So when we talk about content creation, and I know it sounds a little scary if you're like, okay, I want to do a YouTube show, I want to do a podcast, but all of those are time consuming. That's where batching comes in. That's where you sit down and say, okay, this is the message that I'm going to talk about for these next 2 or 3 episodes. Let me do my 3 podcast episodes about these messages here. Then let me do my videos, and then let me do my blog posts. That way the content is fresh in your head, but you're also taking the time to cater that content towards each specific platform, if that all makes sense. So yeah, that's what diversifying content really, really means. And through the coaching program, that's what I help women of color content creators do. I help them take their message and cater it to each specific type of platform that they want to create. If we are podcasters, I'm taking that podcast content and helping them turn it into a YouTube show, or I'm helping them take that podcast content and turn it into blog posts, or turn it into social media posts. So if you want to learn more about the coaching program, I'm going to drop a link in the comments. Patience, multitasking here. Okay. That should be popping up right there. If you're live on my page, you might not see it, but if you're live on my business page, you'll see the link. But don't worry, I'll drop the links after the live video. But yeah, this is what I do in the coaching program. I teach you how to take your content and not just repurpose it, but diversify it so that you can reach your audience where they are and where they want to consume that content. So if you want to learn more, that link is in the comments right now. And let me see. I think I have another banner that I can pop up. Yes. So if you can catch that while that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, that's how you can set up a discovery call with me. The discovery call is 100% free. You answer a few questions, and then we meet via Zoom, and we talk about what your goals are, what your brand is doing, what you want to do with your content, and we figure out if we're a good fit, and then we book some time to start working on the program. So if you can catch that scrolling right there, and I'll also drop that link in the comments. Patience, please. Patience. Okay. There you go. So that link is in the comments as well. And then also, again, if you're watching on my personal page, I will drop the links in after the live video. But yeah, that's what it means about diversifying content. And it's scary at times sometimes, but it's also really fun. It can be fun if you batch it and do it the right way. And that's what I'm here to teach you. So with all of that being said, I want to segue to my little announcement. So as you may know, SM Media Enterprise is a production company, and we focus on providing women of color with tools and resources to tell their stories through media production. So that's podcasting, that's filmmaking, that's blogging, that's writing, etc. And so through that, we have a few initiatives. We have the Creatress Summit, which is our annual virtual conference. We have the Creatress Network, which is our Facebook group and our network of women of color who work in the media industry, which is free to join. That's on Facebook. You can find it. Just search the Creatress Network. We have production services through SM Media, where we help produce content for women of color. And then also our latest initiative that we're starting, we have the Creatress Foundation, which is our grant program that we are funding to issue grants to women of color who want to create content. So we also have that. And then also we are starting a streaming service. We are going to start the Creatress TV streaming service, like a Netflix, like a Hulu, like a HBO Max, but with women of color. So Creatress TV will be an online streaming service that will eventually move to an app-based service, and it will host content that has been produced and directed only by women of color. So that does not mean that the whole team is a woman of color, even though we're looking for content like that too, but the head honchos for that content will be women of color, the producers, the directors. And I'm so excited. So right now we are fundraising. The target launch date for the streaming service is October 5th. So we are fundraising because we want to be able to, one, pay our content providers. I've been meeting with amazing women who have amazing content that they want to have up on the platform and they want to share with you. And I want to make sure that they get compensated, because we all work very hard. Our content, that's our babies. We share our soul with this content. So I want to be able to compensate each woman who contributes to the platform. So that's number one. Number two, there are setup costs for the streaming platform. So we are fundraising to do the setup costs. And then three, we want to market so that we can get as many eyes as possible on this content. So I'm going to drop another link in the comment to our crowdfunding page. And we're doing our crowdfunding through a platform called I Fund Women, which is a crowdfunding and grant-based platform through Girl Boss that helps fund women's businesses. So we're using that. So I'm dropping that in here. And our goal is a big goal, but I think we can reach it. Our goal is $20,000. We want to launch in October. We want to get content up and going. So the $20,000 will help us, one, provide compensation for those content providers, set up the platform, and then also market and get people onto the streaming service. So that is my exciting announcement and update. I'm geeked, you guys. I am so excited about the potential of this streaming service. Eventually, hopefully by 2021, we'll be creating original content for the streaming service and producing films and documentaries and series for the streaming service. I'm excited. I am super excited, because not only am I like a media junkie, like I stream all day, every day, but also being able to create a space that centers around content that is created by women of color is just amazing to me. And then also giving them a space, giving women of color content creators a space where they can create the type of content that they want. They can tell their stories their way without having to worry about ruffling feathers or censoring themselves to fit into just like the mold that society has put on us. I think that is going to break down so many barriers. And that's what I want to do. I just want to create this safe space where women of color, filmmakers and TV show writers and just anybody who wants to create can say, this is the story I want to tell. This is how I want to tell it, and be able to do so. So with your help, we can create that space and start getting this content from these amazing women out in front of people. All right, that was a lot. I feel like I sped talk through this entire chat, but I want to say thank you for everyone who joined me today. I'm going to be posting a bunch about the network and the funding efforts that we're doing. So keep an eye out on our social media. If you are not connected to our social media, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Creatress Universe. And then we're also live on YouTube right now. We don't have a lot of YouTube subscribers yet, but if you want to consume content on YouTube, you can do that as well and follow us there. And then also just follow me for any updates. You can hit the follow button on my page. And yeah, that's it. I will talk to you guys next Monday. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye. Have a great week.